All right, so just want to say thanks to everybody that's been attending all the different offices. For those of you that didn't get a chance to make it today, we want to make sure we recorded this, and obviously because of such great value that it's going to bring to you. So without further ado, I want to introduce my friend Eric Spotswood. He is the regional sales leader for the state of Florida. A great friend to us. Every single time that we've ever bumped into anything, he's been right there to help us get over it. So Eric, I'm just going to turn it over to you and let you take it from here.
Thanks, sir. I appreciate it. And I want officially for the record to say congratulations to Jamie Burgess for being Swain-Poll's top 200 most influential leaders. I know this is going to get shared everywhere. I want everybody to know about it. So congratulations. Very well deserved. But no, thanks for having us. Super excited about it. The one thing that I think everybody can agree upon is the market shifting. You know, if we look at what happened the last couple of years, we got kind of into a rhythm of things with COVID and coming out of it that is completely 180 degrees from where we are today. So what we're finding is we need to make the most of everything that we have, whether that's marketing, client engagement, how we're spending our time, how we're leveraging our systems, all those things. So I know one of the things that we have an advantage of is having people like Lance and Sherry here, boots on the ground, but we also are a national company with great national support, which is why I brought my friends Ron Wivag, who's over here. We try and keep him off camera. I have the real star of the show, Jillaire Grillo, who is our national brand ambassador, who's going to tell you about some systems and tools and techniques and things that you can do to move the needle on your business. So I'm going to do what I don't do very well and stop talking and hand the mic over to Jillaire.
All right. Okay. So, hi everybody. I'm really excited to be here. Normally we do these virtually, so I think this is my second one in person now, so I'm pumped. So we're going to talk today about a variety of different tools that help bring our businesses together, bring our brands together, and then of course drive business forward. So we are going to start though with my favorite and what I think is the most impactful tool that we have here at PHM, and that's journeys. So we're going to break those down. Then we're going to move into listing packages, and then we're going to go over the mobile app. So I'll stop a little bit every now and then just to make sure I answer any questions that anybody might have. But I'm hoping that you will find these tools just as impactful as we do here at PHM. So, a journey. What is it? So journeys are like campaigns, but just a little bit more elevated. They're dynamic, so we rely heavily on borrower behavior, client behavior, lead behavior, to know what email to send to that person at the right time. But the best part of our journeys is they're co-branded. So that's really important for us because we want to make sure that as we are nurturing leads or nurturing our existing databases that we're doing it together. So I'm going to talk about the biggest journey we have, go into a couple of extra add-ons that I think add a little bit of impact to the journey suite as a whole, but we're going to start with this one. This is our post-closing journey. It's our biggest one. It's 5 years long. And that's pretty large for a post-closing journey. So once that client crosses the finish line, we are going to spend the next 5 years making sure that we stay in touch with them. But the best part about it is you all come along for that ride. So what does that mean? Every email that gets sent out in that journey is co-branded, right? So the first year is where we really pack the biggest punch. There's 5 emails in there. And then the years that follow it after the first, you're looking at anywhere from 3 to 4 emails, and then in addition to that, an anniversary email. Now, we spend a lot of time on this journey. It's, again, our largest one, and we probably update and audit it once a year, reaching out to our real estate partners across the country to get a feel for what they think is valuable for clients, and then we adjust the content. It just went through its 3rd update, so it's got new content in it. We're really excited about it. We're getting really good feedback on that content today. But this is what it looks like. So, and this is what it would look like for you as the real estate agent, right? Our partners. From congratulations down, that's what our clients are seeing, but what we're doing for you all is making sure that you get a snapshot of that client, right? Because if you get an email 4 years down the line after they've closed, we may not remember everything about that client. So it's really important that we give you the address that they purchased, when they closed, their contact information, giving you an opportunity to reach out to them at any given point during that 5-year journey, okay? Also, it's co-branded. So if you were to scroll down on that email, you would be able to see your picture alongside ours. So again, these are all date-based triggers. So as soon as that loan closes, it moves right into that post-closing. We send these FYI emails. These will go out every single time an email fires off. And then of course, we want you all to use it as an opportunity to reach back out to your buyer and reconnect with them. Now this one's just a little bit of an added bonus, okay? So I'm a big believer that the non-transactional moments are more impactful than the transactional ones, okay? That's what sets you apart from everybody else, right? People aren't just numbers and transactions, they are people. So we provide a birthday reminder to all of our real estate partners 5 days prior to a mutual client's birthday. We give you their contact information, their birthday, in the hopes that you all will take a couple minutes out of your day to pick up the phone, maybe send a video or a text message, and just wish them a happy birthday. I can almost guarantee you that it will make your business that much better, right? Because that's what they remember, these little things. But we have other wonderful journeys too, right? There's more to it than just database nurturing. There's more to it than those reminders. There's also the leads, right? What do we do with our leads? Now, the biggest gap in anybody's journey process is usually at the very beginning when you're trying to get people to at least fill out that application or follow through with the interest that they have, and then post, right? Because they've closed. We're moving on. We're going to the next person. So that post-closing journey helps with the database nurturing, but these guys right here help with the lead nurturing, okay? So you've got a renter journey, turning renters into buyers. We've got credit repair, lead purchase, and then open house. Now I'm gonna talk a little bit more detail about the open house when we move into the listing package portion, but the open house journey is probably our most popular, and coming into a close second would be the lead purchase journey. But all of these journeys are used quite frequently. And the best part, you get to come along on that ride. So you are co-branded at the bottom of these emails. And for example, the open house one, you're getting notifications that remind you that that person is there and when they are nearing the end of that journey, so that we can continue to work with that client to get them to the next step. So these are the journeys. This is what we've got right now, but we are building journeys all of the time. It never stops really, right? Because there's so much impact to be had here. Now the goal is that we put them on one of these, they move into the in-process portion of our journey and then over to our post-closing, so that we're nurturing them from start to finish, but of course making sure that we're doing that together. Any questions about journeys?
So I'm going to use the renter journey, for instance. That's where we're providing someone, or we're introducing you to them, and then automatically, because of that introduction, you co-brand with us, correct?
Correct, yeah. So there's ways that we can streamline the process. Everybody works a little bit differently. These three right here, renter, credit, and lead, are a little hard to automate because there's not really a trigger in the system yet that would indicate they need to go there. So it is the true start. So there are things that we can put in place to streamline it, but more often than not, it's just a quick text or an email to your MC, and then we make sure they go in there, it's co-branded, and they're off and running.
So Julia, if there's somebody that has a large renter database and they wanted to send them consistent messaging, marketing, both real estate and mortgage.
Yep.
Could they do that through this, and how would they go about doing that?
Yeah, so we'll take your spreadsheets, we'll clean them, we'll load them into the system, and then we'll make sure that they go onto that journey. We also do something called sharing the list as well. So once you provide it to us, we make sure that it's toggled to share with you. You, our real estate partners, have access to the platform that we build these on. So it's called Total Expert. Your MC's probably gonna call it Goldmine. It is one and the same. So we make sure, because these are your records, that you still hold ownership of them even though we're loading them in. Yeah. Okay.
And again, MC is what?
Mortgage consultant.
We're not talking about an MC in a radio show.
Yep, sorry about that. All right, okay. So this is actually a really good segue over into the listing packages, because I want to talk a little bit more in detail about the open house journey. Now, the journeys and the listing packages sit inside of Total Expert. You all have access to that platform. You might not know it, but you do. So a lot of these things you could build on your own We know that you've got your MC, your loan officer, so we want you to rely on them as well if you need something, but it's always good to know you could do it if you wanted to. So I'm gonna go over what that looks like, and we're gonna start with my favorite and what I think it probably gives you the best impact in your business. That's the lead capture app, followed by the journeys, and then a variety of marketing pieces that can help elevate your listings. Okay, so an open house lead capture app. This is essentially a virtual attendance sheet. So they're created and co-branded, so both logos, both parties at the bottom. And what we do is we provide you with a link or a QR code. Most people tend to go towards the QR code, which is totally fine, but we give both, and these go in your listings, okay? Open houses, whatever you want. Now, when we first rolled these out, we were doing them per property, but it was getting hard for our agents to keep up with all of the links. So most people do just one and use it at a variety of different places, but that's really gonna be up to you and your personal preference. So once somebody signs in on it, it automatically goes into Total Expert, and both the MC and the agent get a notification that that's happened, and then they move on to the open house journey. The open house journey, 6 months long, 9 emails, totally co-branded, and then of course giving you all reminders of where they are in the journey and when they're nearing the end, okay? With the hopes that we convert them and push them a little further down that journey line. Okay, now from there we've got our more, marketing pieces, your flyers, your websites, etc. So right here you have an open house rate flyer. This is actually the only flyer that can be created by our MCs only, right? So our real estate partners cannot create this flyer because it's got loan scenarios on it, but any other flyer that we talk about, or the other flyers that are in the system, like why choose PHM, flyers about credit, etc., you all could technically create those inside of Total Expert. This would be the only one you can't. There's a variety of different options here, so this is probably the most popular of all of them, but you can do a 2-photo option, a 1-photo option. We have another vendor that provides a very similar looking flyer. It boils down to user preference and just what you think looks good, right? But all of it's customizable. So you can change the coloring out so it fits the branding, the pictures, the description. Most people change open house rate flyer and put something a little more catchy in there. But this system, Total Expert, is directly integrated with the MLS. So these listings pull through, and whatever you've put on the MLS is pulling through to the flyer. Now again, you can customize it if you'd like to. This right here is just a fun piece, right? So it's our infographic flyer. There's 4 versions of this flyer. There's a front back version. You've got one with walk scores on it, one with school scores on it, but this is the one that's used the most. Again, fully customizable, pulling in from the MLS, all of that can be changed. And what I think people gravitate to the most is those 3 markers on the bottom, giving you an idea of what's in the neighborhood. Now, my recommendation to any of our real estate partners and to our MCs is to take a really good look at those, okay? Make sure it's reflective of what you want to showcase to potential buyers in that area. I always try to look for something that's a little bit more niche and not something that's on every corner, right? So if your restaurant shows up as a McDonald's, probably want to change that because there's a McDonald's on every corner. So going for something a little bit more in the neighborhood, and you can change out the types. Maybe it's a bowling alley, maybe it's a bookstore, maybe it's a bakery, whatever you want. As long as it's a business claimed on Google, the option is there for you to switch it out. We see these pieces used the most on social media, so once they're created, you can save it as a PDF, or you can save it as an image and then post it on your social platforms, or just left it your listings. And then the last thing in the listing package is going to be that single property website. So basically what we're doing is we're taking that listing flyer without the loan scenarios and creating a virtual product, right? Fully customizable. There's about 8 different templates. Change the coloring, change the descriptions, change the galleries. There's a contact tab at the bottom, so if anybody's interested in the property, you all as the real estate agent would get that email and then can follow up with that potential lead. So this is typically used on social media, mostly on Facebook. So it's a good way for us to get eyes on the property. So we always recommend to our MCs that they post these, tag their real estate partners in them, but you all can post them as well. Okay, so before I move into the mobile app, because it's totally different than what we're talking about right now, we talked about journeys, we talked about listing packages. Does anyone have any questions about any of those? Oh, cool. Okay. All right. It's hard for me to pick my favorite thing because I just love technology and all the things it can do for us. So I typically am like, this is my favorite one, but then I also probably said Journeys was too. So it's a little difficult for me, but I think this is a pretty cool tool because I love nothing but brand visibility, right? And why wouldn't we want to take up space where people are spending the most time? So people's phones are always close by, right? And they are typically always on them, at least once an hour at the very least. So the mobile app gives us an opportunity to come together and to take up space where people are spending that time. But what I love about it the most, and yes, there's gonna be a lot of bells and whistles to it, we're gonna go over that in a second, but selfishly, I'm gonna talk about what I think is the best part of the mobile app, and it is brand visibility, okay? This gives you all an opportunity to showcase who you are, what you offer, etc. So you're listed up front and center, MC is underneath, and when they click on your image, it takes them to your profile. This is really, really important. We want to make sure that you go in there and it is totally reflective of who you are, the business you run, etc. So making sure that your website is correct, your listings are posted, testimonials, all your social platforms. I've even seen a couple agents put in like a link that has a welcome video on it. So that's an option as well. So definitely want to go in and make sure it's fully customized to reflect you and your business. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. But I think it's the best part of the mobile app. But I want to make sure I talk about all the other things it does too. So these are the top 4 things the mobile app does that tend to get the most attention from our real estate partners and from our clients. The first is the ability to pre-qual and pre-approve right from the mobile app, okay? So we used to carry our laptops around wherever we went, right? If we needed a pre-qual or pre-approval letter, we'd have to open up that laptop, log into the system, get it done. Who knows, it could have been an hour, 2 hours, maybe we missed the window. But what the mobile app allows us to do is get those pre-qual and pre-approval letters to you right through the mobile app, right? So it really expedites the process. So that right there is a game changer, mostly for the MCs because they want to be able to get you that stuff as quickly as possible. Now for your clients, the scan document is probably one of their favorite features. So I don't have a 2022 stat because we're still kind of running the numbers, but in 2021, we scanned about 70,000 documents using the scan document feature in the mobile app, okay? And I really credit this to the pandemic, and we're still not post-pandemic. I mean, we're not pre-pandemic. We're still kind of in this weird little world right now. And so we're not meeting with people as much as we used to. People don't own scanners, okay? And so how are they getting us documents? This is it right here. And it's so easy because all it takes is the camera on your phone and the mobile app. It allows them to scan multi-page documents, push them into the system, into their file, and then allows the MC to pull them in, right? Sort them accordingly, etc. So it's really simplified the process of getting documents into the file. Then you've got the calculators. Now the calculators are a fan favorite amongst everybody because we want to be able to give our clients the opportunity to run calculations based on whatever scenario they're encountering as they're out there looking for houses. So what does that mean? You, your clients, MCs, we can all access these calculators to do monthly mortgage payments, affordability, you can do it by program, etc. So there's so many options in there, but the best part of the calculator, the best part, is that as people are using it, you are getting notifications. So I'm always telling our agents, get out there, share this mobile app as much as possible, even if you don't think that person's gonna buy a house in the next 90 days or try to be a little bit more proactive about it, even if it's a year from now. Give them the calculator and empower them to use it because if they start using it 6 months after you've given it to them, you get that notification, and that gives you an opportunity to pick up the phone and reconnect. That right there is huge, okay? We want that information. And then last, but certainly not least, is the ability to track the loan. So all parties are gonna be able to track the loan in real time. So everybody's getting push notifications. We're all familiar with them. You know, when your Amazon package is 10 stops away or your Uber order is around the corner. This is the same thing. So as your clients are reaching milestones in real time, everybody's getting a notification. So everybody's on the same page. And you can see all of that in the mobile app. You can see all the letters that have been issued, all the calculations that have been run, all the milestones that they're hitting. Everything's gonna be in there for everybody to keep up to date with what's happening with that client. So how do we get started? The first thing is, I don't want you to go to the App Store. Because if you go to the App Store, you download it as a client. And we don't want you to do that. We want you to download it as an agent so that it is co-branded, okay? If you do go into the App Store and happen to download it that way, it's not the end of the world. We can revert it, but we would rather start right with you as being a co-branded partner. So you wanna go to your MC and you wanna get that invitation, right? It's a text or an email. Most people prefer the text. And once you get it, you just follow the steps to get started. Once you're in there, you're gonna be able to customize that mobile app, whether it's on your phone or using the web portal, because you can access it on the web as well. Okay, so we've got it on our phone. We're really excited about it. Now we wanna share it. So it's super easy. On your home page, there's a share this app button. It doesn't get any easier than that, and then off it goes. However, after talking to many, many real estate agents across the country, determining where in your process it makes sense to share it is super important. Most people wait till they meet with their client in person for the very first time, so that if they've got to answer any questions, they can do that. But it doesn't have to be that way for you, right? You can do it whatever works well for you in your process, but just think about where it makes sense and then just make it a habit. My thing is, with anybody, share it often. Share it with everybody. Because here's the way it works. It doesn't just stop with you. You don't just share it and then nobody else can share it. Your client can share it. They can be at a party, talking to a friend. I'm thinking about selling my house and getting a new one. Oh, I have somebody you can use. Let me share the mobile app with you. It's got all of her contact information. You can reach out to her. You've got friends, you've got family. Share it with them. They can share it with people. So as that's happening, you're getting those notifications, and it's allowing you to kind of see that tree as people start to share it out. So I think everybody should have it. If you've got it on your phone, everybody you know should have it on theirs. Now, as far as the borrower is concerned, what do you say when you're talking to them about the mobile app? I think it just all depends on where they are in the process. If you're at the very, very beginning of this relationship, then the calculator might be what you want to open with, right? But if you've already moved down the line and now they filled out an application and you're just trying to get it in their hands so they can scan docs and keep track of the loan, maybe that's the conversation you have. But these are the 4 things right here that are probably what you would want to talk about when you are talking to a client. Yeah. So those are the tools, right? So we've got the journeys, we've got the listing package, which is comprised of that virtual attendance sheet. You've got your flyers, your websites, your journeys that are all there for that open house. You've got the mobile app. Everything sort of works together, right? The mobile app is integrated in with the platform that hosts the journeys. And so we're making sure that when we bring this technology on, that not only is it a benefit to you and to the MC so that we can build our brands together, but that they're all talking to each other so that we don't have data in one place and not in the other, and we're not communicating correctly. So I'm happy to answer any questions if anybody has any. If not, I'm gonna hand it over to that guy so we can round us out.
We just have to have it in our gold mine or
Total expert. Do you want to come up here and answer that question under the mic? Oh, okay.
And I'll just
And
talk.
you'll just talk.
Yeah, so the question was, for those of you who can't hear, and I'll just summarize it for everybody in the room, you know, what about rates and what they enter into the rate sheet or enter into rates. And, you know, the bottom line is every Friday we'll send you guys rate sheets, okay, so you can get an idea. We don't advertise or publish rates on a daily basis because number one, they change often, and number two, it really is specific to a scenario, right? FICO score changes your rate, you know, down payment changes your rate, owner occupied second home, investment property changes your rate. So it's hard what you don't want to do is mislead somebody. So we'll just give every Friday we'll give a kind of a market rate that's based on a owner occupied 720 FICO score with 20% down, and that'll give you a good idea of where they're at. And then again, it might be a little higher, it might be a little lower, but usually not enough that would change qualification dramatically. So that's kind of our take on it, and we send you out those weekly rate sheets. So every question, any other questions? No, you're just, gotcha, okay. So why is this stuff so important? Why are we here today? And I know we didn't get a lot of interaction on this call because a lot of you are remote, but you know, for those of you in the room, why is this stuff that Jilaire is talking about, co-branding and journeys and, you know, listing communication, rate sheets, why is it so important? Anybody have an opinion on why it's important?
It's engagement.
Engagement, that's good, but no. That's good, but no. What else? Anybody else? Sherry, any ideas? Yeah, go ahead.
Builds rapport and trust.
Yes, but no. Very good one, but that's not what I'm looking for.
Hey, that's the key is you're not going to get the right answer.
Yeah, you're never gonna get the right answer. But I'm gonna give you the right answer right now. So, what do Zillow, Redfin, Rocket Mortgage, Loan Depot, and about 50 other companies all have in common right now? What are they all trying to do? Steal your customer. That's what they're trying to do right now, right? Maybe not this current customer, but every single transaction you close with Rocket Mortgage, and I'm not bashing Rocket Mortgage, but bottom line is every customer you close with Rocket Mortgage, they are putting that customer in a database that they are sharing with their real estate partners, their preferred real estate partners. And they're gonna start, you know, sending them communication, emails, texts, not only about mortgage, but about real estate and how to call, you know, this real estate company. Loan Depot just acquired a real estate company. You know what Zillow's trying to do. You know, they have now Zillow Real Estate or whatever they're calling it, where they are putting these people in a database, right? So what all these companies are trying to do is steal your future customer. So what we try to do, as Gino Blafar is calling me right now, that's not good that I'm not going to answer, but what we are doing as a wholly owned company of Berkshire Hathaway, HomeServices of America, is help you make sure that doesn't happen. Post-closing co-branding, right? So the customer is always seeing your name, even though they're getting emails from Rocket or they're getting emails from somebody else. The mobile app, always on their phone, and then they share it with a friend, always on their phone, both their mortgage consultant and their real estate agent. You know, we're literally 2 of the 3 people everybody says you always need: a good real estate agent, a good mortgage person, and a good barber, right? I mean, we're literally 2 of the 3. So having that on your client's phone at all times is critical. So maybe you think our marketing is, you know, not great, but at least we're not trying to steal the customer. Now, I think our marketing is great, and at the same time, we're putting your face on it to help you keep that customer for the long term. In addition to that, the second thing is, when your customer applies for a loan, whether it's with Prosperity or anybody else, do you know what happens as soon as credit is pulled? Well, credit score goes down. Yes, that's a good point. But something else happens as credit is pulled from every one of your customers. Anybody know? Has anybody applied for a loan recently?
Your data shared with a bunch of people.
Yes, you will get a phone call from between 8 to 13 lenders, all trying to steal your business. How many of those lenders have other real estate partners that they're trying to push on to their customers? And if they're not doing it today, they may be doing it in the future. Everybody's trying to build what we got, one-stop shopping, right? So today, it might only be, you know, they might just be talking about mortgage, but you're still going into that database, and in the future, they're going to be talking about real estate and mortgage. Okay, so these trigger leads are absolutely mind-boggling today, and the reason why the federal government allows the credit agencies to sell these leads is to attempt fair competition. But it's gotten out of control. I applied for a home equity loan a couple months ago. I must have gotten 200 phone calls within a week. Okay, again, different lenders, different mentalities, different interests, and a lot of them with real estate professionals in their back pocket. You'll get none of that with Prosperity. You get us owned by the same parent company that is trying to drive business back to you. Does that make sense? That's all we were built for. That's all we were built for, was trying to drive business back to our real estate partners. So, if you are getting this drives us nuts at Prosperity. A lender, one of your customers goes to Loan Depot and they're getting pulled, getting called now from 8 to 13 lenders, and we're not one of them. As a real estate agent, you should go, my God, why is that happening? Let us be one of them. Give us that opportunity to make us be one of the 13. So at least if Sherry or Lance captures the loan, we're not going to try to steal that customer away in the future. Matter of fact, we're going to try to drive them back to you through our post-closing campaign. So that's the whole reason why this is important. Let Sherry do all the work for you. You don't need to go in and do any of the work, but tell her what you want, and we'll make that happen for you. That is our whole job, is to do that. So, any other questions about that? Hopefully that makes some sense, and that's why we're here. And we appreciate all of your attendance today. Eric, any final thoughts, or Jimmy?
Come on inside. Now, the other thing that I'll mention, a lot of people aren't aware of it. So NAR, when they do their annual surveys and their buyer profiles and seller profiles and what have you, in their study, when they look at the buyer profile, 71% of buyers only talk to one lender that are out there. But what they found was, of the people that talk to multiple lenders, the average buyer saves over $1,000 in costs. So not just to get it to us, if you have clients that already come in pre-approved, it's great to ask them, have you had a second set of eyes on that? And the one thing that we'll promise you is if you get it to us, we're never going to talk somebody into getting a worse deal. So if they happen to be getting an amazing deal, you get them to Sherry, you get them to Lance, they're going to look it over, and if they say that deal is amazing, they're going to tell them that deal is amazing, go ahead and take it. So true, unbiased, trying to make sure we're looking out for the bottom line of our parent company, Berkshire Hathaway, looking out for your relationship. If we can get them a better deal, we'll tell them. Real life scenario, had a client just last Friday who was talking to us and said, I've got this deal, I'm working with a builder, I'd love to have given you a chance, but they're giving us $10,000 off. Pretty common scenario, right? So we said, do you have a copy of a loan estimate? Do you mind if we just take a look at it, make sure we're looking at the small print for you? We looked at it. Yes, they were giving a $10,000 credit. They're also charging him $7,000 in points to do it. So it really wasn't, they were completely unaware of the $7,000 they were getting charged. So it wasn't really a $10,000 credit, it was a $3,000 credit. End of the story, we gave them a larger credit, offset it, and beat the deal, put them in an even better spot. But sometimes the deal you think you're getting isn't the deal that you are going to get. And I don't think anybody's intentionally trying to mislead people. There's just a lot of conversation that happens. There's a lot of papers that people have to sign, and you don't realize it until it's way late in the game. So what I'd say is, if you have these clients, to be in their best interest, make sure they're talking to a couple people. Make sure they're having an opportunity to look with us so we can look over the fine print so that they're getting the deal that they think they're going to get. And the one thing that we're always going to do is help you out regardless of where that loan is. So if that loan is working with somebody else and you have questions, you have concerns, you have things that we can help with, give us a call. Let us help you out. Because we're here to help you, and there's not a little asterisk at the end of it that says, as long as I get the loan. We're here to help you, period, end of story. If it helps to take stress off, if it helps to build your business, if it helps to put you in a better position, I have helped other lenders close loans because it was the right thing to do for that client, for that agent, because they were close to the finish line, and starting a whole process over doesn't make any sense. So we'll do that all day. If it's a better experience for you, if it's a better experience for the client, because that's what's going to create repeat business. So if you need us, anything that we can do to help, we're happy to do it.
Hey, I forgot one thing.
Bobby?
One thing I forgot, and it's the last thing, is how many of you have clients that are now sitting on the sidelines because rates have gone up? And you need rates to go back down in order to get them engaged. Well, the good news is rates are coming back down a little bit. And the general consensus is over the next couple of years, rates are going to come back down and stabilize in the around the 5% range, which historically is fantastic, right? Not compared to where we were in 2020, but still a very good rate over history. I'm sure a lot of you in this meeting remember when rates were 16, 17, 18%. So that's good news. But what if I can give them a 2%, if I can lower their rate by 2% today? Do you think that can get a few more of your buyers back in So are you guys aware of the buy down scenarios that are out there that are come back in vogue? So we can literally lower your customer's rate almost 2% in year 1, 1% in year 2, and then by the time year 3 rolls around, where they're back up to today's rate, we have what's called a refine your rate guarantee, where we will waive our fees to refinance that client when rates do go back down, anytime in the next 5 years. So you can save today by starting them out low, getting rates back to where they were a year ago, so get more people in. And then number 2, when rates do make that plunge back down at some point, we can refinance them with very low costs. We call that a refine your rate guarantee. You combine that with the savings up front. You know, people say buy today, save tomorrow. I say save today and save tomorrow, right? So we'll get them in a home with a lower interest rate today or a lower payment today, and then we'll refinance them in the future for no lender costs or at least significantly reduced costs. So that's also a way to get more of those buyers that maybe are sitting on the sidelines today off that fence and get them into a home. And we're seeing a lot of luck with that. So anyway, that's what I wanted to leave you with. Is that
Good?
okay?
No, that's good.
All
Perfect.
right.
Perfect
All
cap off.
So 3 things, and I'll be quick.
Why don't you come up?
Yeah, come on up.
One at a time, and we're getting at the end of our time. So 3 things I wanted to mention. If what Ron just mentioned, the 2-1 buy down. If you didn't hear our presentation Lance and I did together, I just did it at Pier Park last week. We're happy to get with you one-on-one and explain it to you in much more detail so you can really wrap your head around it, because it's a really good, very positive thing to get that consumer to pull the trigger and buy a house now. Second thing I wanted to mention, each of you have a little bag in your seat, and if you don't have a little bag in your seat, get one. Look inside that bag and grab my business card out of there, flip it on the back, and I want you to write free appraisal. Because every agent that came today, and you get one too, write free appraisal on the back. Now that card, our appraisals start at $505. So basically you have a gift certificate in your hand, it's starting at $500 and it could go up from there. So any customer you bring to us, if we can get them across the finish line, they're gonna get a free appraisal. So keep that certificate in your hand. The last thing I wanted to mention, there is food in the back, help yourselves, and that's all I got.
That's it. All right. Thanks for coming in, everybody. Really appreciate the time. To all of you out there virtually, hope your 2023 is off to an amazing start and hope to see you soon. Take care.